Y'all, the gains you allow yourself to have will come from the information you allow yourself to know. Let's get into the video. My name is Sean, and we just getting started with so many different things. I'm building now a tech startup, I have a charity, and I'm staying in shape for a sport that I've played for a very long time. I'm actually trying to maybe consider picking up kickboxing, who knows? But however, there's just so many different things that I've been learning about myself, and that only came from just writing things out, learning how to journal, sit down with myself, set goals, communicate with mentors, and you just trying to figure out, okay, cool, how can I use all this to double up or double down on some things I want to get out of life, right? Cool. Now, I don't know about y'all, but these last couple years were rough, and they were kind of good at the same time. There were some really good things that have happened, and some good self-discovery pieces, and there were some things where it was like, man, I don't know how something like that could have gotten through or even just happened. I don't know. But whatever you just got out of going into, or whatever you're working on, just know that it's gonna change course. And just simple steps, simple processes, how you break things down to yourself, and just really being able to sit with kind of some of the good and the bad out of just what you experience out of life. And for me, myself, just facing so many different things as far as almost being evicted many different times, or maybe, starting a tech company. That's something that was a great highlight. Or getting it back into a sport that I've been playing for a while, finishing school. So there's just so many other different things where it's like, all right, cool. How do you channel all this? How do you put it together? We'll talk about it. Journaling, just to kind of start out, that was one of the first things that I just realized. We hold so much as people inside, and you don't really think about it until you just really sit down. And it's like, man, I have so much going on up here. I can't even really process what's going on around me. And sometimes your head just go heavy. At a point for me, I couldn't even have a conversation with people. And there's people I love and care about. If you would text me or call me, I wouldn't say pick up, I wouldn't even respond. But if I see it, it's just like, dude, I'm trying to talk to myself, so I can't even give it. But if you journal and you write out your thoughts, it kind of takes everything from the inside and it lays it out in front of you. And then you start to kind of put together the pieces of why it may feel like this. So write out just so many different things. You get your journal, whatever it may be, a blank sheet of paper or one with lines. This is mine. Oh, that's the back. This is mine. And it's pretty solid. It just has, where it has the subject, the dates, and lines. And I got this at Meijer for probably about, 12, 11 bucks. You know what I'm saying? You can get a subscription for Hulu or whatnot for 15 or whatever you pay a month. You can get some money and set aside for a journal. It's very important to set out some thoughts and just kind of get all the stuff in the mental clog out for sure. Now, this was a really big one. So part of coming out of journaling, I just realized was a worse and bad spot for me was just not having a vision. And I'll probably say I've endured a lot of different things, but early on, probably the toughest thing is just not having a vision. You don't have any goals, nowhere to navigate. You don't know what you want to be, what you want to get into, what you want to do. The world really is open like that to where it's like, man, I can legit do anything, but what do I want to do? And really, that's up to you. You sit down and you just really process and, don't really even think about other people. And not saying don't consider factors of those parts of your life, but you really sit down and you think like, man, what do I really want for myself? And then when you process that, you just set a goal or a few of them based off of that, a yearly bucket list of some fun things you may want to get into. And then you set some other stuff on the side, like each quarter, it's 4 quarters in a year and we're in the second one now. What do I want to achieve by the end of June? And then how do I want to close out the second half of the year? Just kind of those types of things. And then 5 years from now, what do I see myself wearing? What do I see myself driving in? What do I see myself going to? Events, networking, or even just some money. Money goals are great too, really great actually. How much do I want to have in my account? Put that down. If you want to, I'm 25. If you want to have, I tell myself I want to be a millionaire in my 20s. And how I put that down is, all right, what numbers do I need to break up? And how do I plot that out for myself? So I was like, okay, cool. How do you process that? So just make sure you put something together that makes sense for you, something that makes sense for where you want to be, where you want to go, and how you want to do it, because ultimately these are your goals and these are the things that you reflect coming out from the inside. I've said it's another good one right here, y'all. Just identifying traumas and just some things that may put you in a bad space. And I've heard this somewhere, and I really don't know if the person said it was their original quote or not, but in the world of everybody trying to figure out who they are, there's power in knowing what you're not. So if there's something that you don't really like, then don't be around it, or find ways to kind of disconnect yourself from it. Or there's some things that you do like, find ways to get around that more. And it can be people, it can be objects, it can be tasks, it can be whatever it may be. And the truth is, you're gonna have to do things you do and don't like, cool, but just make sure you create a space for both of those things, where it's like you can identify what may put me in a bad spot and what may put me in a really good spot, and figure out how to lean on this side a little bit more. Find some mentors. Find a mentor and become a mentor. So whenever things start to kind of clear up for yourself, find out, if there's somebody younger than you or maybe even older than you that may need advice that you could lend out and pass out. And, find somebody that's in a position where you want to be or kind of close to it. And this ain't no new information. I mean, you guys know this, but just myself, I'm trying to set out just a transition in the next 4 months of so many things I've been working on, and just sharing that with people and just trying to get out and try some new things. So for you all, it's just an encouragement for you all to continue to do it as well. Like, who can you sit down with and get out those thoughts of, well, I want to try this, I want to try that, and then they've already kind of been and they can say, well, how about you think about it like this, or consider this, or I may know such and such who can put you on with X, Y, and Z. Because to be honest with you, and I'm getting that now, like, it saves a lot of time and it sparks that curiosity, because consistency is what is going to change a lot of the atmosphere for just whatever you're working through. So the more pieces that you can add to the puzzle, it's like, okay, cool. I got people who been there, and then they've been there and they want to see me win. Now for myself, all right, how do I become a person of good value? And that's why I said also be a mentor to somebody, because now somebody gonna look up to you. And I don't know, I told my older brothers, man, like, and in this time now, I'm becoming a person I always wanted to be around. I'm becoming a person where I've always wanted in my life. So if I can be that for somebody else, I'm going to. So, and it's always just good seeds that come back from that. So I hope this was good information for you all. I know I'm gonna put this post up on Instagram, and from there, we're just gonna be breaking down just some goals, talking about getting out some of the traumas, best ways to kind of work on those things. And we're gonna do a investment, I wouldn't say like it's like a portfolio kind of startup. So an account from $0, and we're gonna take that and show people how to get an emergency fund set up. And okay, there we go. It cut out for a little bit. But how to get an emergency fund startup, and how to build just an investment portfolio, just some stocks you want to look at, how you get into it. And I'm not a financial advisor, but at the same time, I do want to make sure if any information I get and I learn, I want to share with you all how money works, how you can grow yourself, develop your mind, and just your space, and then you add that value to the people around you. So hopefully this was insightful. Hopefully this was good. And man, we just gonna continue to knock at it. And these next 4 months gonna be really big. So hopefully I can stay, I don't know, I'm gonna be consistent, but hopefully there'll be some good stuff coming. I'm trying to get better at shooting content. So you guys have a good one. And I just appreciate you guys stopping by.